You know, if you love TV and movies, life is good if you live in the USA.
Well, we all know there's great content north of the border, but there's even more selection down south. If only we could get you there.
Which is why we'll show you how to build a digital secret passage past the 49th parallel this week, helping you tap into streams, downloads, and websites that we just can't get here any other way.
We've also got some great racing games from Graham, a look at the very best set-top boxes for your home theater, and Tristan showing off the Rikomagic Android TV.
Rikomagic.
Love that one.
I hope you got a good deal on that. Then we'll wrap it up with apps to make flights more bearable and an inside look at mirrorless cameras.
Well, some people probably didn't even know that cameras had mirrors in them in the first place.
And most of the new ones don't. They've got the same power as digital SLRs, but you know what? You're just going to have to wait and see. Graham's got it covered later in the show.
Well, we've got a lot to see, so stick around and get connected.
Have you ever seen someone online rave about Hulu, Pandora, or Spotify? Or you caught yourself wondering why your Netflix account seems a little bare? Well, you're not alone. It turns out that we're just a little bit behind in licensing for video content here in the Great White North. So we get stuck with something like, this video is not available in your region. But don't worry, we've got the answer. With the right tools, you can get access to that sweet American content. The key to digitally crossing the border is using a proxy. So what is a proxy? Well, this is your IP address. It tells the services you're using where you are in the world when you're on the internet. It's why you get redirected to Canadian sites and locked out of others. Using a proxy lets you log in through an IP address that comes from the right place. In our case, the good old US of A. Is it illegal? No, but there are gray areas like breaching a website's term of use. Now, that's not necessarily breaking the law, but it's on shaky moral ground, so keep it in mind before you proceed. There are 3 easy ways to get access to another country with a proxy. We're going to start off with a browser extension. There are a few out there, but our favorite is called Media Hint, and it's available for Chrome and Firefox. It's easy to install and perfect for using American Netflix, as well as Pandora and Hulu. Just follow the instructions to install, and you're good to go. Next up, we've got web proxies. A web proxy lets you log in through your browser and mask your IP while you got that window open. You can use proxy.org to find a proxy where you need one. They can be great if you find a reliable one, but speeds can often be slow, and not all sites work with all proxies. You're going to need a little patience if you're going to make web proxies work for you. Last, and my personal favorite, is a VPN, or a virtual private network. You might have used a VPN in the past to connect to a company network remotely. The great thing about VPNs is that they're secure and fast. Nobody outside the connection can see the data being sent and received. VPNs are usually a paid service where you get more security and privacy than with a proxy. Considering that, the rates are pretty reasonable. Our favorites are Hide My Ass, Pure VPN, and Unblock Us. But if you want to check out more, check out bestvpnforyou.com and read up on some reviews first. If you're worried about getting too technical, it's actually not that bad. Most VPN services have easy-to-follow setup instructions to get you up and running. It's usually as simple as typing in an IP address to use as your proxy address, and you're set. One more thing. If you want to quickly check the proxy is working, type in Google in your browser. If it opens google.com, you're in the US. If you see google.ca, it shows that Google thinks you're in Canada. That goes for other countries too. So, just to be clear, before you try any of this, make sure you're aware of the terms of use of the sites you want to use and that you're comfortable with, not actually agreeing with them. If you are, then proxies are a fantastic way to watch your favorite shows online, so you'll never, ever have to see that dreaded screen again.
It's almost a little strange to think of your iPad as a gateway to adrenaline, but with high-action titles available for only a few dollars, it's a great way to get your heart going, even if you've only got a few minutes to play. Now, there's one genre that's been pushing the envelope since gaming on tablets was introduced, and that's racing. Today, we're going to see who's going to take king of the track with a race to the finish between the latest Need for Speed title from EA and a high-octane contender, Boost 2. Now, in pole position, we've got Need for Speed Most Wanted. It's a street racer where you need to outrun the cops, race your rivals, and compete against your friends to see who can get the highest score. You're going to go head-to-head with other racers in cars like the Viper GTS, Porsche 911 Carrera S, and the Hummer H1 Alpha. The real challenge here is winning races while eluding the cops and avoiding oncoming traffic. The game does feature a realistic damage model for the very first time on mobile, so if you do hit the wall, you're going to feel it. Controls include touch or tilt to steer, but you will use touch throughout the game to either boost or slide around corners. You can mod out your car or unlock new cars with speed points. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can unlock new things through in-app purchases, but where's the fun with that? Now, it's social gaming through Origin, which is EA's online service where you can log in to see who on your friends list is the most wanted. The question is, what's it going to take for you to top that list? Now let's take a look at Boost 2. It's a completely different type of racer. It's a tunnel racer where you're driving through a stylized world. The goal here is pure racing. Big speed, the fastest times, no cars, no world, no cops, just racing. It's developed by a one-man team. One guy alone did this, which I think is pretty cool. It's got online multiplayer, so you can go head-to-head against other gamers and use Game Center for comparison. You can see who's got the best scores and challenge them to a race. The game itself is $2 to buy, and you can unlock survival mode early for just 99 cents. Throughout the game, if there is a fatal crash, which would take you out of the race, you can get a 10-pack of extra lives for 99 cents, which you can use once per session. Controls are pretty simple here as well, tilt to steer or touch to steer, but it's a completely different experience. When it comes to racers, you couldn't find two games that are more different. On the one hand, you've got the heavy production values of Need for Speed Most Wanted, which makes for a really impressive game. On the other hand, the clean, pure feeling of Boost 2 is something that a lot of games aspire to without actually getting there. It all comes down to what type of racer you are. While I love the big experience of Need for Speed, the simplicity of Boost 2 makes it more fun to pick up and play if you've only got a few minutes. But if you do have time, hitting the streets and running from the cops in Most Wanted is one of the most impressive gaming experiences that you can have on a tablet. For $7, it's a great way for you to spend your entertainment dollar.
Presents When Forgotten Passwords Attack.
Oh no! I've forgotten my password! And the computer's gonna self-destruct!
Call the IT manager!
You forgot your password during a self-destruct sequence? Luckily, thanks to Intel vPro technology on Dell's new Latitude notebooks, I can reset your password from anywhere.
Hurry!
Quick! Think of a new password!
There's no time!
Come on!
Kitten Rainbow Magic!
Kitten Rainbow Magic?
Kitten Rainbow Magic!
Kitten Rainbow Magic!
You did good.
Thank you, IT manager. You're my hero.
Dell, the power to do more.
Christian Mingle, it's this vehicle which God did use to bring my wife and I together.
Christian Mingle to me is like a hub where we can all meet on common grounds.
It's exciting to see who's out there, who's interested in you.
We would not have met had it not been for Christian Mingle.
If it wasn't for Christian Mingle, I can't see it happening that we would have met.
We met on Christian Mingle.
I met my beautiful wife on ChristianMingle.com.
Joining is easy and free. Join ChristianMingle.com today.
Bringing everyday commodities into focus.
Turning to gold, and this is truly an amazing story.
Andrew Bell, Tuesday through Friday, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific.
It's almost scary to think about how computing continues to evolve. From a humble beginning as an office accessory, computing is everywhere now. It's in your pocket as a smartphone, it's in your bag as a tablet, it's on the go with laptops and other portables. One recent breakthrough for the computer has been your living room. The digital revolution has finally hit your TV with set-top boxes that are smarter than ever. So if you thought you were limited to your cable company's set-top box, you were wrong. You can tap right into the internet to get your video on your TV, access your media on your home network, and even choose to pull the plug on your cable completely. But what are your options and what should you look for? Well, today I'm here to help you through that. Set-top boxes aren't going to win any bold design awards. Most of them are just short, black boxes that blend in with your home theater gear. Some come with great remotes, and some will give you a great opportunity to learn how to use that universal. We're seeing all sorts of crazy tech in controllers, like gyroscopes, motion sensors, and even widgets. So ditching a special remote for a universal might not be in the cards for you. As a Canadian, you'll have to brace yourself for some disappointment. While you might see smart apps for services like Hulu, Pandora, and Vudu, they won't do much here in Canada. And Netflix works great, even if the selection is a bit thin. There are a lot of other things to consider, like video podcasts, movie rentals, and accessing your media on your network, so it's not all grim news. A popular choice for many is the Apple TV. It has a sexy, polished interface and our favorite Netflix integration available, bar none. If you use iTunes to buy movies and TV shows and have an iOS device that you can use the AirPlay functionality with, then the search is over for you. You're going to get an Apple TV. The remote can drive you crazy if you're entering text, though. Here's a tip. If you have an iPhone, you can use the free remote app as a virtual keyboard for your Apple TV. Keep that one in mind. To access your own movies, music, and photos, all you need to do is log into your iTunes account. It'll stream your music, your movies, and your TV shows from the iTunes store, and your photos from PhotoStream, which means you can do all of this great stuff without really even needing a computer at all. If you're in the iOS ecosystem, you generally can't go wrong with the Apple TV, especially for only around $100. If you're looking for an affordable way to turn virtually any TV into a smart TV, then check out the Roku 2 streaming media boxes. Priced from $90 and up, a Roku 2 media box allows you to stream hundreds of online video and audio channels, including Netflix. The Roku 2 XS version even comes with an enhanced RF remote with motion control for games like Angry Birds, making it the perfect gift for young kids. If you have an Xbox 360 or a PS3, you can even save more money and just use either Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network. They're both pretty nice and have Netflix, smartphone remote apps, and surround sound for you cinephiles. But if you want flexibility, have a look at the Sony Google TV box. One thing about Google TV that's cool is if you're searching for something, you'll get results in YouTube, Netflix, all the platforms. It searches everything at once, which is really handy. This is also a great box if you want to browse on your TV with Chrome, and you have the Google Play Store available for movies, apps, and other goodies. It still feels like Google TV is a work in progress, though, and we've had the odd crash here and there. You also have to roll up your sleeves to get some things to work. These are similar thoughts we have to the Boxy Box. Powerful and tweakable, but the interface can use a little work, which makes it tough for the average Joe to navigate around. There's no perfect marriage of flexibility and reliability and great user experience yet in the world of set-top boxes, but for the basics like Netflix and movie rentals, there are some great inexpensive options out there today. Now is a great time to try one out and add that flexibility and online connectivity to your living room experience.
Pocketable PC power isn't such a far-out concept anymore. The phone in your pocket has more power than a room full of computers from just 15 years ago. That's why we're looking at the Rikomagic MK820 Plus Mini PC. Despite having a name that's a real mouthful, it's a pocket-sized device with the power of a PC that brings apps like Netflix, YouTube, and Angry Birds to your TV in glorious 1080p. The MK820 Plus is an Android-powered computer that plugs into your TV or HDMI monitor, and it's not much bigger than a USB drive. Now, under its tiny hood is a 1 gigahertz chip, half a gigabyte of RAM, and 4 gigs of onboard flash memory. You can bump that up with a micro SD card, just like some smartphones, all the way up to 64 gigs. And getting it onto your home network is simple thanks to its built-in Wi-Fi. This mini PC also has 2 USB ports for a keyboard and mouse, which is handy because it actually doesn't come with a remote. But wireless keyboards and mice are also available from the manufacturer. Plus, it has a mini HDMI connection for your TV or monitor. And thankfully, the MK820 Plus comes with a mini HDMI to HDMI cable in the box, so you can save yourself a trip to the store. Now, the software on this model isn't the latest version of Android. It's actually running 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich, but it's compatible with most games and apps. And it's not heavy-duty hardware either, by any means. So you may encounter the occasional slowdown or hiccup when you're loading web pages or apps. So do you have a need for a pocket-sized Android PC? Of course not. But is it a super cool wonder of technology at a crazy low price? Most definitely. Just make sure you don't lose it.
Gotta get connected.
Presents When Forgotten Passwords Attack.
Oh no! I've forgotten my password! And the computer's gonna self-destruct!
Call the IT manager!
You forgot your password during a self-destruct sequence? Luckily, thanks to Intel vPro technology on Dell's new Latitude notebooks, I can reset your password from anywhere.
Hurry!
Quick! Think of a new password!
There's no time!
Come on!
Kitten Rainbow Magic!
Kitten Rainbow Magic?
Kitten Rainbow Magic!
Kitten Rainbow Magic!
You did good.
Thank you, IT manager. You're my hero.
Dell, the power to do more.
Inspired by tech culture, the all-new Forte is designed for a digital world.
This is so cool. Wow. That's the stuff of dreams, isn't it?
High energy. High powered. High voltage.
Freeze!
And now, available in high definition. Discovery Channel.
Come on! Now I'm ready.
Are you kidding me?
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by AGF. What are you doing after work?
Gotta get connected.
I've got a few simple tips for you today. See these little earbuds that come with your iPhone? Well, they have a handy 3-button remote built in that you can use to turn up and down your music or play and pause your music. Most people know this, but there's a few more tricks you can pull off with these buttons that you might not be using. There's a lot of things that you can do by either double or triple clicking the center button. For example, to skip a song, double press the center button. A triple click will take you back a song. You can also fast forward and rewind a song too. Just follow up your double or triple click by holding down the center button. Pretty easy, eh? You probably know that you can take a call by pressing the center button, but if you want to send that call to voicemail so that you can keep enjoying your music, just hold down the center button for 2 seconds and you'll hear 2 beeps, confirming that the call went to voicemail. If you're on a call and you get another one coming in, you can toggle between calls by pressing the center button once. If you have Siri, single press and holding the center button activates Siri, so now you can talk to your personal digital assistant. And here's one of my favorites. If you want to take a photo without tapping on your screen, press the plus button when you're in the camera app to snap the pic. It's great to avoid the camera shake that happens when you tap the screen too hard. So give these tips a try, and happy listening.
You know, ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to fly planes. I mean, after watching Top Gun, who didn't want to be a fighter pilot? But as you can imagine, flight school is super expensive. And I found a cheaper way to start my aviation career. It's actually an app, a flight simulator app called X-Plane, and it's available for the iPad. X-Plane's origins go way back to 1993 as a Macintosh-only flight simulator. The iPad version does a fantastic job replicating the feeling of flying inside a cockpit. The rules of the game are pretty simple. Your job is to take off, navigate to new airports, and then land. While that may not sound challenging, you'll find it very rewarding once you've mastered the basics. X-Plane comes with 22 large regions to explore, each with several airstrips and adjustable weather. The best part of the game is the variety of aircrafts. In addition to various commercial and military planes, you can also fly gliders, helicopters, even the space shuttle. The gameplay changes depending on the user's choice of aircraft. So, for example, the CB waterplane takes off and lands on water, while choosing a fighter jet starts a dogfight with an enemy plane. So if you think you're the next Maverick, or maybe you're just Goose, you'll want to check out X-Plane for the iPad. Well, if you're into planes or you take a lot of flights like I do, you know how important flight status updates are. I mean, you probably want to know if your flight's going to be on time or not. That's why I like the Flight Aware app. It can actually track commercial flights around the world or even private and charter flights in Canada and the US. By tapping on the Flights tab, you'll see you can track a flight by number or even tail number. Tap on Search by Flight Route to choose your origin and destination. This gives you instant access to flights between the chosen airports on various airlines. You can scroll through the list of airports or enter the city or airport code in the search bar. Tapping on a flight gives you even more info, such as the duration of the flight and the option to view the flight path on a map. And if the flight is currently in the air, you can check the flight log to view the speed and elevation on a grid. It's kind of neat to be able to track loved ones on their incoming or outgoing flights. And if you're in the middle of a field, like I am, you can actually find out the planes above you using the phone's GPS. Super cool. Tap on the Nearby tab to view all the flights in the chosen area. On a busy day, you'll see a ton of planes all over the map with lines showing their flight path. Tapping on a plane tells you the flight number and elevation. You can keep the map on to help determine where the airport and the surrounding cities are in relation to the planes, or shut the map off to get a better sense of where the planes are in the sky. You can also search any area by entering the city in the search bar by tapping the Airport tab. There, you'll find info on things like arrivals, departures, en route, and schedule. You can also view a street map and add airports to your favorites list. Tapping on the My Flight Aware tab helps you to keep organized and lets you see all your saved airports. Perfect for those who fly a lot. If you're afraid of flying, your travel options are kind of limited. So how do you overcome that fear? With an app, of course. Flight app, courtesy of the Volk Foundation, offers reassurance and relaxation activities for those suffering from aviophobia. It provides information to help you relax before and during departures, takeoff and flight, turbulence, and even landing. The Good to Know tab gives you even more info on flying in general, statistics on the safety of flying, preparation tips, and how to avoid jet lag. So if you just need help to chill out, the Relax tab provides you with the basic relaxation exercises and an audio message from a therapist. This is perfect when you're feeling tense. But if you're really panicking, tap the Panic tab for immediate intervention from your app therapist. And by the time you get through the flight app from Volk, you'll wonder why you were ever afraid of flying in the first place. Now, I wonder if they've actually got an app for air sickness.
This is a mirrorless camera. It's a weird name for a device, mirrorless. I mean, it sounds like something's missing, right? Well, something is gone, but that's not a bad thing. Mirrorless cameras are an interesting breed. They're a middle ground between DSLRs and point-and-shoot models, and they're becoming more popular every day. So to understand mirrorless cameras, you kind of need to know why the mirror was there in the first place. In DSLRs or digital single-lens reflex cameras, you can put your choice of lens on the end, take a look through it, and get your shot. The light is actually going through, it's bouncing off a mirror through a piece of glass to let you see what the camera sees. When you click the button, the mirror swings up and out of the way, exposing the sensor to the shot. Mirrorless cameras do away with the mirror and the glass. The sensor inside gives you a real-time view of the LCD on the back. Well, the great thing about these cameras, as you can see, is that they're smaller, lighter bodies, and they're easier to carry all day long. In many cases, the sensor is usually smaller. A lot of cameras use a new format called Micro Four Thirds. That's a standard created by Olympus and Panasonic. Not every camera uses this format, though. Some brands have their own. This particular Sony uses an APS-C sensor. The Canon EOS M uses the same size. When you get down to cameras, though, it's all about glass. So the important thing to ask is, how many lenses are available for the system that you're looking at? How long has the system been around? What other cameras use these lenses? And is there an adapter to use other lenses? Mirrorless cameras are also great for video. They've got a big, beautiful sensor inside that's perfect for 1080p HD. It can shoot it at 24, 30, and 60 frames per second. Another thing I like, they've got stamina. Because there's not a whole lot going on inside, they've got great battery life. You know, they say that the best camera you have is the one that you're carrying with you. For a lot of us, that means smartphones, but with smaller cameras like these mirrorless models, you might have space in your bag to carry something high-end all of the time. Better gear doesn't make you a better photographer, but it sure makes things a whole lot easier to take more pictures. And more pictures means more fun.
So film cameras had mirrors so that you could see through the lens, but we don't need a mirror anymore because the sensor is digital. That makes sense. I guess that makes the mirror obsolete.
Well, you know, there's still a place for cameras like digital SLRs. Sony's doing some incredible stuff, like making the mirror translucent. It's better for video, and it still gives you that through-the-lens feel without wasting power. It's a nice blend of old and new.
Well, speaking of new, what do you think of the Android TV?
You know, I like it, but it feels like everything that runs Android that isn't a phone doesn't get system updates, and I'm not sure I want something that feels like it's going to be left behind.
Yeah, fair enough, but I'm willing to take the risk. Getting all of my Google apps from my phone to my TV, sign me up.
Yeah, that's just what I need. My TV telling me I'm late for an appointment.
Well, you've never seen Angry Birds until you've seen it at 80 inches.
Well, you know, you've got a point. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Get Connected.
Christian Mingle, it's this vehicle which God did use to bring my wife and I together.
Christian Mingle to me is like a hub where we can all meet on common grounds.
It's exciting to see who's out there, who's interested in you.
We would not have met had it not been for Christian Mingle.
If it wasn't for Christian Mingle, I can't see it happening that we would have met.
We met on Christian Mingle.
I met my beautiful wife on ChristianMingle.com.
Joining is easy and free. Join ChristianMingle.com today.
Where you are steep, I am sure-footed. Where you're narrow, I am precise. When you're at your worst, I am at my best. I was made for you. Though sometimes it seems as though you were made for me. Canada, land of Quattro.
Know what this is? What about this? Or this? If you do, you're probably 50 or over, and that means that you could start saving through Gray Power today. Our customers save $300 or more on car insurance by switching to Gray Power. Take Leslie. She saved $434 by insuring both her car and her home. Stacy and Philip saved $323 by insuring both their vehicles. Get rewarded with big savings. Call or visit graypower.com today. Save over $300 on car insurance through Gray Power, and even more when you add your home or other vehicles. what can we say? Experience pays off.
Some things do get better with time.
So stop what you're doing and call Gray Power today at 1-855-471-5050. You've earned the right to save.
Hi there, welcome to Commodities. We got a glittering show for you today. Lots of gold. Up first, we're going to talk to SomSafe Chief